Hi, it's Sandi Masori from Balloon Utopia, Market with Balloons, and coming soon, DIY balloon art. Today we're just going to talk about the mechanics of balloons, basically the building blocks. So what I want to show you is basically some of the different balloons and some of the different techniques, and just talk a little bit about, these different things. So you see here I have an array of balloons to show you, and we'll start here with the Linky Balloons, which I just love. These are just so much fun. You see that they've basically got a tail on both ends. So they have obviously your nozzle side so you can blow into it, and then they've got a little tail on the end here so that you can attach things to it or do all kinds of crazy things. And neither of these things around me have that, but there are plenty of videos either coming up or that I've already done that are using these Linky Balloons. Here we have just our standard balloon pump. So there's a lot of different ways to size your balloons. I actually have a whole video on how to make a balloon sizing template. Another way to size your balloons is just to count how many pumps you're doing, right? Because if you're doing 10 pumps and you do 10 pumps on every balloon, then it's going to be the same size. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So every Linky balloon that I do 10 pumps on should come out to be this size. And let's just test that. There, I'm going to just tie it, and I'll show you in a minute how I tied it. Stay. Good boy. Okay, so we'll do that again. 10 pumps. Okay, and if you've never used a balloon pump, then let's talk about this for a second. And when you use the balloon pump, first of all, you want to put the balloon all the way onto the pump, and then you can't just then start pumping because it's going to fly away. So what you need to do, excuse me while I go retrieve my balloon here, what you need to do is actually hold it onto the pump while you pump it. Okay, it seems obvious enough, but this is actually one of the most common mistakes and frustrations that I see people making. So you hold it on. Now here's another mistake that I see people doing, is that they'll try to pump it, and especially with the 260s, it'll be kind of like coming down on the pump like this, and then they're wondering, well, why it's not going. Well, where's the air going to go? You've sealed off the chamber. So you want to make sure that you're blowing straight into the bowl of the balloon, or in the case of one of the long skinny balloons, straight into the tube. Okay, so let's try that again with 10 pumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. And let's see, how do we do? Approximate, not quite the same size. I might have done more than 10 on that one. 10, there we go. That's right. Okay. So now, like I said, with these Linky balloons, we can tie them together in a lot of ways. We can tie them together like this, we can tie them together like that, we can tie them together like this. And we can make long chains of them. For now, I guess I'm just going to tie them together like that. Okay, and now what I've just done here is called a duplet. I've tied two balloons together, and so now I have a duplet. The building block of balloon decor is duplets. So now I want to show you, hey, stay. Now I want to show you with some of our 5-inch balloons. There's 3 pumps and a little burp. And we'll talk more about burps when we get over here to the long skinny balloons. Okay, so I'm making a duplet. And now I'm going to make a single balloon. And I'm just going to put over here. For now, stay. And I'm going to make one more duplet. And actually, I'm just going to wrap that around my finger until I'm ready here with this one. Okay, and then I'm just going to tie these together. So you don't even actually have to tie them individually. You can just tie them straight to each other. Okay, so if I take these two and I take these two and I put them together, then I have a quad. Okay, and this is what we build a lot of our decorations on, is quads. Now, in fact, this is made on a quad, and these are made on quads. So you see that it's really an integral part of everything. The whipped cream for the ice cream or the drips for the ice cream, those are made on quads. So quads are really a really important part of balloon decorations. Now, if we were to take this other balloon and we were to tie it in, then we would have a 5-pack. And I will say that 5-packs can be a huge pain in the butt to work with, but they can be really effective for holding things stably or when you need it to look a little bit rounder. Now, if you really want it to look round, then you're going to want to do a 6-pack, which I will tell you that the first 3 6-packs that you put onto a pole are a pain in the butt because one of them always wants to pop up like that. And so you just got to have patience and you got to just keep working it and keep playing with it until you get it. Okay, so we're just going to add our quad here to the duplet there, and now we have kind of like a really bizarre kind of honeybee looking thing. It's not really meant to be anything. I just want to keep them out of the way and neat. Okay, so that's that. We talked about that. We're using 5-inch balloons just because they're easier to put on the table. So now let's talk about the non-round balloons. Now there's a lot of different shapes and sizes. We have donuts, we have blossoms, we have hearts. All of those pretty much act the same as round balloons. Now these balloons, though, they act differently. So this is a 260, and let's show you the difference in size. This is a 160 right here. It might be kind of hard to see because it's clear. I'll put it on the black there. And this is a 260. Hey, they're falling all over the place. All right, let me get this. Here we go. When you have balloons in a table, you get chaos. What can you do? All right, so you can see the approximate size difference of those. Basically, it's double. So a 160, when fully inflated, is approximately 1 inch wide and 60 inches long. A 260, when fully inflated, is approximately 2 inches wide and 60 inches long. Now this one here is called a 350. It's approximately 3 inches wide and, you got it, 50 inches long. And this giant baby here, this is a 646. It is approximately 6 inches wide and 46 inches long. So let's blow some of these up. I'm going to start with the 260 because I want to show you something. So first of all, I'm going to blow this up really, really full. Now, if you were standing here next to me, I would have you touch this, and you would see that it feels very taut. You cannot put a twist in this. I did not leave any space or any give to do anything with this. So what are we going to do about this? Well, usually when we blow up these kind of balloons, before we tie them, we give it a burp. And what that means is we just let some air out. Just like that. And then I'm going to feel it. It's kind of soft. If I wanted to use the balloon fully inflated, maybe I want to make a hat base or something, this is going to work because maybe I only need 1 twist. If I was going to make a flower and I need to have a lot of pressure and have, 6 twists in it, this would be too tight. It would not work. It would pop. So you want to play with the pressure, and this is what I recommend to people when I'm teaching them in person, is first of all, I'm going to give them a 260 and I'm going to tell them to inflate it until it pops. Okay, and that's what I want you guys to do at home too. And the reason is because if you get the feel for how much it can take and how much is going to be not enough pressure to keep it inflated to the end, then you'll really, it's a muscle memory thing. You'll really kind of gain the feel for it. So there's our 260. This is, pretty good squishiness. All right, that's the official term for it, the squishiness counter. I'm just kidding. All right, now let's blow up our 160. And this one's clear, so it might be a little bit hard to see. No, you can see it? All right, good. And this too, you see I gave it a good burp. And actually, I'm just going to blow these up so you can kind of see the size comparisons. Even though they're supposed to both be 60 inches long, you can see that the 160 is actually a little bit longer than that. It's pretty rare that we use the full length of the balloon, though. Most of the time, we're using the balloon and we're twisting things down, so we're not always using the full length. All right, let's blow up our 350 here. And also a good burp. Right, so here we can see our relative sizes. And now, this guy's fun. Not so fun to inflate. This is the one that wears out my arms. But you can see that he's gigantic. All right, we're almost done. And I just know that YouTube is going to freeze me on this front, because that's always where they freeze me. All right, so going to give it also a good burp. So it's really hard to get a whole lot of twists into these guys because, as you can see, they're pretty thick, and you know, it's pretty rare that we can do more than 1 or 2 twists in one of these. And in fact, these are most stable when you're just using it as a single balloon, as a single piece. So there's a lot of things that we do using this as the base for a pedestal. All right, and let me show you how I tie it. Now, everybody has a different way to tie it, so I'm just going to show you the way that I tie it. For the non-round balloons, I lay it across my hand between my middle finger and my ring finger, and I bring it around the back of my index finger and my middle finger until it crosses. And then I kind of open up my fingers so I can push it through, and I pull it and pull my fingers out. And that's how I tie. Now, if you ask 5 balloon twisters, you're going to get 5 different ways to tie. But that's okay. So now let's look at our relative sizes between all 4 of these. So you see how they graduate in size. Now, this 646 has another really cool property to it. And that is that because they're long and they're heavy, if you put your 4 fingers, and you want to make sure that you don't have hangnails when you do this, but take 3 or 4 fingers and just kind of push it inside like that. You see what I'm doing here? Then if you go like this and you let go, these fly awesome, like that. So that's something really fun that once one of those comes out at a party, they're kind of zooming all over the place. Well, that does it for today's edition of Building Blocks of Balloons. I hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see what you create.